After World War II, Poland did not become fully independent. It became part of the Eastern Bloc. Socialism in Poland was a time of slow improvement. The country struggled with economic problems and poverty. Because of the risk that the countries of the Warsaw Pact would use Western technology for military uses, the import of those technologies was very limited. Poland could only acquire both outdated technologies and hardware, and most Polish people associated the word computer with gigantic machines used by scientists in science labs or at universities. Despite all of this, computers in the 80s became a symbol of progress, giving the average Pole a glimpse of the rich and democratic reality of the Western countries and instilling dreams of a brighter future. These were the circumstances that were the spark for the first few to start creating video games. In 1982, Stanley Marian Hajduk, an American entrepreneur of Polish origin, asked the Wrocław-based Elbaro National Industries to create a video game for his company. The game was meant for 8-bit computers. Hajduk hoped for cheap production costs in Poland, thanks to a high exchange rate of the dollar against the Polish zloty. This also meant high profits after launching the game in the States and Western Europe. Development of the game was commissioned to 3 Elbaro employees. The game was ready in 1983. Its title was Webmaster, and it was meant to be released for the Atari computer. You would control a spider moving along his web, fixing the web when it breaks, consuming flies and miscellaneous bugs, all for game points. It was the first contact of the Poles with an Atari computer, and the result was impressive, giving hope that Webmaster would become a success. Sadly, the game never hit the market because the entrepreneur pulled the plug. Soon after Webmaster's flop, another American entrepreneur of Polish origin came to Poland with a similar idea, Lucjan Daniel Wenzel. His idea was to create a video game studio of his own. The studio was based in Warsaw and employed IT specialists, mostly scientists from the University of Warsaw. Thus, Studio Karen came into existence. It was first commissioned to port games to different platforms for various publishers and other developers from abroad. Karen's portfolio included RPG titles such as fantasy and strategy games like Panzer Grenadier. Their version of an arcade logic game called Realm of Impossibility was awarded the Conversion of the Year award in an internal ranking of electronic arts. It wasn't long before the team started creating their own games, and Wenzel came up with a new name for the studio, one that would sound more like a foreign brand, California Dreams. The best-known titles created by California Dreams were Blockout, a 3D variation of the Soviet-created Tetris game, and Street Rod, an unusual racing game set in 1960s California. In the meantime, computer sciences and programming became available to a wider audience than IT specialists only. It was mostly thanks to a better availability of microcomputers in Poland, such as ZX Spectrum, Atari XL, XE, or Commodore 64. Young people became interested en masse in the possibilities of the new computer technologies. They started as gamers, but soon became interested in creating their own games. The birth of computer-related press had a significant role in the educational process, especially the most important computer press title of the late 80s, Bytech. It became the most important source of information about new technologies and also covered programming tutorials and courses and even whole code tables for basic programs. You had to manually rewrite them. This was the true beginning of the first wave of Polish games and developers. They started with rewriting programs published in books and press, which they distributed at computer markets, a kind of bazaar where fans of computer games came with their creations to exchange their games and programs, or simply to buy them from others. These were also the places to exchange their knowledge and to meet new people. The commercial game market was non-existent in Poland. There was also no copyright law protecting intellectual properties of the creators. Only a small amount of people believed that creating video games could be a way of making a living, or something more than just an exotic hobby. The first sign of upcoming changes was when the National Publishing Agency started publishing. The first tapes with educational software were created by Polish programmers in 1986. It was also the year when Marcin Borkowski, one of the editors of the legendary Bytech magazine, first tried to publish and sell his Pandora's Box text adventure game for the ZX Spectrum. The true change was yet to come in 1989.